Welcome to another episode of Eyes on the Jersey Shore. I am Vin Ebenau, and once again having another conversation with another guy born with the name Vincent, which means great things are going to happen, because when a couple Vincents get together, good conversations can happen. That's exactly what I said to Monmouth County Senator Vin Gopal. With me today is Vinnie Brunetti, the chairman of a NJ4NJ, which is a nonprofit helping out small businesses across the state of New Jersey who have been really dealt a dagger since basically this time last year. Since March of last year, we've gone through a whole year of the COVID-19 pandemic, and it's really hit small businesses hard because of the virus itself and because of a lot of the state restrictions and everything. So this is a Jersey Shore native, Manalapan High School graduate and everything. So, Vinny, thanks for taking out some time. And it's good to talk to another guy with the same first name.
Thanks, Vinny. I appreciate it.
So you certainly have built up a good success for yourself in your career as well. But now you're looking to help out other small businesses in New Jersey. NJ4NJ New Jersey for New Jersey, which all of you out there can find on social media. NJ4 with the number 4, NJ. Looking for it on social media. They have a website as well. We'll get into all of that as well. So, Vinny, I don't have to tell you. I don't have to tell anybody. This pandemic, this past year from March to March, has certainly been tough on a lot of businesses. And I think one thing that maybe some people may have overlooked, at least early on, was, hey, these small business owners, this is their work. So by having them closed or restricted, and not being able to afford paying their the bills at their business, means that they're not making as much income to pay their own bills at home, and cell phone, food, utilities, and so forth as well. So it's really hit a lot of people hard. Some have survived throughout the pandemic. Some are still kind of hanging on, waiting for restrictions to be lifted and everything. So tell me what NJ4NJ is all about. What are you doing specifically to help out these small business owners, not just at the Jersey Shore, but throughout the state of New Jersey, kind of help stay afloat and get back on their feet again?
Sure. I appreciate that, Vin. Thank you. Having a small business myself, experience some of the unknowns and hardships of waiting for funds to be relinquished, to folks that have their whole life invested in their business. It was pretty painful. You didn't know, what was next. And as most business owners, they have their whole life tied into their business, the house, the mortgage, the line of credit. And, they have other families as well that are, trying to stay afloat, the kids that they have for school and, just paying their bills and rent. And as I went through that, I was fortunate to survive and thrive, actually, and had sold my business in July of 2020. And as I talked to different folks and, loving to dine throughout the state of New Jersey, understanding the restrictions that these folks unfortunately had to adhere to, that they could only potentially have 25% or in some instances no indoor dining, and some of them just couldn't survive through curbside. And as I, made my way through to the holiday season, understanding some of the families that were struggling, that, couldn't make rent, or, they had children that were not going to have, an experience around the holiday time that typically they would have. So as, I went through that period of time trying to help as much as I could, a number of very close friends who were small business owners had, got together, and we talked about how we could potentially do something for New Jersey. It's a fabulous state. Unfortunately, the money still have not arrived through this new stimulus package, and they keep talking about it. But we felt that I have the resources now to potentially impact and help small businesses in New Jersey that are residents of New Jersey. And so we put a website together so folks can apply at nj4nj.com and look at businesses that are owner operated, that employ folks that rely on that paycheck to pay their rent and their bills. So the unfortunate part is there's just so many. I think I was reading a statistic the other day that close to 80% of small businesses may not be here. in New Jersey specifically, and that's really sad. I mean, New Jersey has a lot to offer. So, having grown up most of my life in New Jersey, between the shore and up by Action Park and alike, it's a beautiful state. It has great businesses that are suffering right now, and it's unfortunate. So I felt in putting this fund together, it's a nonprofit, would be beneficial to finding the right business that was doing okay prior to COVID, and that COVID really was the event that impacted their business, that they needed a helping hand. I mean, look, at the end of the day, as small business owners, we all need that helping hand. And so I wanted to try to give back. I've done okay for myself, and I wanted to have other business owners who are stressing about, what do I do next? How much time do I have left to survive? Do I tap into other people's money? Do I borrow money? I feel like we're at a point now where we need to help one another out. The folks in the government, obviously, they live a different lifestyle than we do, and that's okay, but they have to understand there's people who are really hurting. So we feel that we can make a difference in people's lives today, and we want to be able to help people that can get through this next 3, 6, 9 months, whatever it may be.
And you started with this NJ4NJ fund, putting up $250,000 of your own money, and you said you're looking to match 10% of every dollar that you guys can raise, up to 2.5 million this year, and just raise even more. Just by kind of calling on the community, kind of everybody coming together here. So, I mean, you touched on it as well, but kind of what inspired you to just kind of put up a lot of put your own money up, and then just try to kind of combine that and match some of the other donations that have come in and will be coming in from people all over New Jersey?
Yeah, I looked at how I could take some of the fortunes I've earned and was fortunate enough to accumulate, and something that would potentially make a difference. And so I thought that 250,000, if we're able to get to that 2.5 million. I look at Dave Portnoy, who's done a fabulous job in starting with the 500,000, and now I think he's close to 3 million, I think, or maybe more than that. I'm not certain, but he's done a great job. And I feel that New Jersey folks, through Sandy, have come together, and I think there's a lot of people that are out there that would be willing to donate. And I figured by matching it, it could get us to the numbers that we need. I do think that as this fund grows and we start to fund some businesses, that the money should start to come in, and we can really make a difference. So, having the wherewithal to put up the 250,000, I felt was a small token to try to help make a difference in some of the folks that are struggling right now. I unfortunately feel that there's just so many businesses that are hurting, and the resources are not there. It's sad when you have, I think there was a story in NewJersey.com or one of the New Jersey outlets where an 8-year-old girl was crying on a Zoom class because she was hungry. That should never happen in this country. It should never happen at all. And, to hear that 250,000 is nothing compared to children, having the mental health issues resolved, food on their plate, or at home. And so, this is the least we could do. And I think once we rally the troops here in New Jersey, as they say, New Jersey strong, I think we could really get this ball rolling and really make a difference in people's lives. So it's the least, you can do when you've been fortunate, like myself, to give back to the community.
And certainly for anybody out there, Dave Portnoy with Barstool Sports, helping out small businesses on across the country. Vinny, you doing basically a similar thing here in New Jersey, and I think one of the things hearing from Dave and then hearing from you is that just kind of tired of waiting for small businesses to kind of get that help from the government. So you guys are being humanitarians here, kind of going above and beyond, trying to help out your neighbors, your friends, people's families, and everything too, just kind of moving forward here through 2021. And, 3 months in here, we've still got a long ways to go to get through the rest of the year and try to help these businesses get back on their feet, especially as we head towards the summer here. As you know, in Monmouth, Ocean County, even down to Atlantic and Cape May counties as well, the summer season, the summer tourism season is big. And a lot of these small businesses will really are hoping that 2021 will be much better than 2020, and trying to bring customers back and bring tourists back and have their businesses start to thrive so that they can survive again. Sure. I had met this afternoon with Stevie Rivera of Elite Wrestling,
and Frankie Egger. And one of the things is, we're talking about kids and, how we could help kids out. And it's just a matter of Stevie provides his facilities, for wrestling, which, I was a wrestler back in the day and probably a couple 100 pounds ago. And it's just getting these kids today to live their lives. I mean, no one should go through not having a senior ball or not having the ability to wrestle in the States or playing football. I mean, those things are necessary. And, that's just one aspect of it, which is the most important aspect of it. But you also don't want the children to feel the stress of the adults, their parents, not being able to provide. I'm not talking about benefits and the nice things to have, but just the normalcies of growing up, in the state. So, it is time for the people, and I think they've done it. Look, they've supported Dave Portnoy. There's other instances of funds that are being supported, by the citizens of the country and the state. And it's just a shame that the money that we've paid in taxes, and not to get into politics because I don't want to do that. These people have a very disconnect from the people who are really hurting, who have given them the ability to live the way they're living. And when you have a small business owner that has everything, houses and anything else tied to that entity, and they can't make it, where do they go? And that's what we're looking to solve. That's the solution that we're looking to solve. Again, there's so many issues that are out there today, and I wish that we all can wave that magic wand to make it all go away. But it's going to take a Herculean effort, by the people of New Jersey for NJ4 New Jersey to make a difference. And I think we'll do it. We've done it before, through Sandy, and we'll do it again.
And that was going to be my next point. I mean, you certainly have helped out in a big way before, and giving your heart to the community right after Sandy. I mean, you certainly mentioned Jersey Strong before, Jersey Shore Strong, kind of the rebuild effort after Superstorm Sandy, which really it hurt a lot of people, not just businesses, a lot of people in a lot of different ways here. So, and kind of hear the Jersey Shore, New Jersey as a whole, business wise, in a lot of ways, really, just kind of struggling financially through a tough economy, even before the pandemic. Tough to kind of pay bills and live and work in New Jersey because of the taxes and everything, and we could save the politics for another day.
Sure.
But it's just tough in a lot of ways. So kind of, what does it mean to when the moment gets tough? I mean, what are you seeing? Not even just through what you're doing, that when things get tough around the Jersey Shore, around New Jersey, that people, families, friends, communities have this instinct of just kind of naturally trying to come together and help each other out so that jobs can stay afloat. People and kids like the little 8-year-old girl can, have enough food to eat and, clothes and everything. So what does it tell you about the Jersey Shore and kind of what you're seeing across New Jersey and the things that you've been doing yourself, and just kind of how the New Jersey community comes together when times get tough?
Yeah, well, growing up in Manalapan, I thought, as I said to you earlier, obviously I've only grown up in Manalapan, but comparative to where I live now, the community was so close-knit. People, everyone knew one another, and forming football leagues so the kids could play if they didn't make Pop Warner. Just the continuity of people coming together for the benefit of all people, not just some, not just here and there, but all people. And as going into high school and traveling to different places to see how New Jersey in general were like that. New Jersey's it's a great place. I mean, I was born in Brooklyn, and that was a tough neighborhood. I moved to Jersey, and I said, man, this place is great, and it continues to thrive. Except it's a tough environment when you have the taxes that you have, right? I mean, you have businesses moving out that are employing thousands of people, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, thousands and thousands of jobs. And, I wasn't the greatest student in the world, but from a common sense perspective, I'm like, well, if you have businesses and they're employing a lot of people and they're bringing money in to small towns, that's the big to do. And we need to address that. I mean, there's a lot of businesses, today that are considering going to another state that's, more tax friendly. We have to think about that. But regardless, even with that said, and a number of people that have been moving out, the community still is strong in New Jersey. I think, though, we're getting to a point where it's getting tougher and tougher just to get through people's days. But again, the community, the citizens, the people that rally together to make New Jersey great It's there. The base is still there, but we're at a tipping point. And again, I just felt that it was time for at least what I could try to do to try to give back and pay it forward to help out, the folks that are really in need, because I think New Jersey is a great state. It has so much, like you said, the shore is just a beautiful, everyone that talks about it, the Jersey Shore from top to bottom, they love it. People go there, they thrive. Now, the businesses that are down there, they have a small window, a very small window of time to make, money. So they have to be operational and have the wherewithal to sustain some of the restrictions, whether it's the indoor dining and alike that can make it for those 2 or 3 months that they're going to open up now.
Now, through NJ4NJ, how is everything going to work out in terms of which small business owners, small businesses are eligible? How you'll go about providing them with a little bit of donation? Does it do they have
Sure.
an application process to determine how much funding that they could receive through NJ4NJ?
Yes. Great question. Thanks, Vin. Yeah, there's on the website, nj4nj.com, there's an application process that we're just asking for. Were you paying your employees through COVID? How was your business doing prior to COVID? How are you doing now during COVID? What is it and who is it that you're servicing? How many employees do you have? So there's a kind of a application that we're not asking for tax returns at the sitting. We're trying to understand the story. We're trying to understand, if we fund you, how will that work? What are you going to use the funding for? We were having conversations this afternoon where some people have taken funding and they've used it for their own personal use. We obviously want to avoid that, but there is an application process. We have a committee that reviews the application. We then, if it qualifies, we'll then contact that individual and go through a deeper dive of maybe financials, and to then understand how, if we give them this monthly funding, it'll help them sustain their business as well as grow the business through this time. And hopefully when COVID ends, whenever that will be, they'll be able to sustain the business and grow it.
Now, how can just the rest of the Jersey community help out here, whether it's small business owners want to help out other small business owners through NJ4NJ, or just everyday residents who want to contribute a little bit or donate a little bit to NJ4NJ so that you can help out the small business?
Sure.
Is there a way for them to get involved and help out in any way as well?
Yeah, I think, it's understanding the economic environment that we're in and the uncertainties that we live in. It's hard to ask anybody for anything as far as money goes, but at the end of the day, it is, donations that we need, that we're counting on. We're counting on, again, the community to come together. And what we're hoping is that, as Stevie Rivera said today, we fund a business and they do really well. And they say, hey, now we want to give it back. We want to give back some. Not that we want it back, but they're looking to pay it forward again to help someone else that was in their situation. But it's going to start at home. It's going to start with the people that, have the wherewithal to, donate and help, get the funds going and grow the funds to a point where we could fund many businesses. So, at that point, hopefully there'll be some New Jersey-based corporations that would see how we're doing, and that the purpose and the cause is serving the better community to survive and sustain through this time, and we might be able to get some larger donors. But I think right now we really need the mom and pops to donate to the fund at this sitting.
Now, I want to touch back on the shore angle that we hit on earlier on here. I mean, what are some of the life lessons that you learned from, growing up at the Jersey Shore, growing up in Manalapan, going to Manalapan High School, through any personal triumphs or any sports you played, or being with wrestling, that you kind of took with you, back then, and kind of helped you, find success in your own life, and then try to pass on some of the life lessons that you picked up to family, to friends, to community, and trying to help out with small businesses here. And
sure. Great question.
Everyday life.
Well, I was blessed. I really was blessed to. It was a love-hate relationship with Denny D'Andrea, our Manalapan wrestling coach, who, between him and Tony Caravello getting together, I think ruled the world in New Jersey for quite a while over Brick Memorial, and I think they did the same over at St. John Vianney. But when I think of Denny, it kind of chokes me up a little bit. But He's a great man. He instilled in anyone that he touched the the mindset that nothing's going to be given to you. And he really he made most of the people he touched great people, not athletes, but great people. Nothing was going to be given to you. If you made it, don't forget where you came from, pay it forward. And he was just a great mentor. You went in the wrestling room and you hated him for the hour or two that you were in there. But when you leave and you look back on life, you say, wow, thank God I was blessed to have someone that told you get out of life what you put into it. And that's one thing that really resonated with me, was that I was going to be up against a lot of people that were a lot better, whether it be intelligence, whether it be something else. But he instilled that, if you work hard and you're willing to outwork other people that don't want to work as hard as you, you'll get ahead in life. I use that as the main, thriving force of my success in most anything I did. And it's about, lessons learned. It's failure, as I tell my three girls. Failure is okay, providing you let it breed success. If you learn from the things that you did wrong and how to do them better, we're all going to fail every day. But if you're willing to take the time to put the time into making things right, you can do it. So, hard work, I know it's a cliche, but if you're willing to outwork the other people that aren't willing to work hard, that have a lot of talent, you'll get ahead in life. It's no doubt. For me, it's proven. But having that kind of mentoring and mindset, where a lot of times you say, hey, you spoil kids from an Alp and you think your mom and dad are going to be around forever. They're not. When you get out on your mat, you can't blame your mother, you can't blame your father, you can't blame the teacher. Did you run an extra mile? Did you go put the time in to do the things that you needed to do? And as we were successful in Alp, and I think 81, 82 is still the only Monmouth County team that won back-to-back shore conferences, it was because of him. And I think many of the kids who went through that school that were lucky to be in his presence have done very well for themselves, not just financially, but just in their mannerism, just in their way of life, just in how they treat people. So it's having that student who has that teacher, that mentor, is so critical today. I think Bobby Bowden in one of the ESPN shows said, I never knew being a football coach mean how to be a father to 50 kids. And that's what coaches mean to their student athletes. So, the school thing is really important. Having people that make a difference in someone's life, it's critical. It's really critical that they're in front of these people that can make a difference for them.
Everything I've heard about you coming in here today and everything that you and I have been talking about throughout this show interview here is that you are doing good for the community, and you've taken those lessons and applied them to everything you've done, and are certainly paying it forward to help out a lot of other people right now. And certainly through NJ4NJ with the small businesses around the state of New Jersey who are struggling and do need a bit of help to try to get back on their feet and try to start to thrive again. So as we close out here, certainly thank you for all you're doing here. Anything else about NJ4NJ that people and small businesses need to know about? Anything else that they need to send in when they're applying for anything or donating to? Anything else that we haven't covered or that you want to expand on?
No, I think we've covered a lot, Vin, and I thank you for this time. It's extremely generous of you and thoughtful to allow me this time. But New Jersey for New Jersey is just that. It's people from New Jersey, concerned citizens, concerned guys, small business owners that felt this was something that was needed and necessary, because there are, as you go through each city or each town, there are small businesses that you see are struggling. And we just felt like we had to do something that we can try to contribute. And so, New Jersey for New Jersey is a nonprofit. It's the board of directors are all from New Jersey who felt that, we want to try to make a difference in people's lives. So if people could go and they need to apply, great. If they're able to contribute a few bucks, that's wonderful. That'd be really helpful.
Vinny, thanks for taking out some time to discuss New Jersey for New Jersey. And for doing all the work that you've been doing and trying to pay it forward and help out all these other people here. So I appreciate your time. And, I think above all else, just thank you for doing what you're doing to help out small businesses and people across New Jersey.
You're welcome, Vin. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That is Vinnie Brunetti, the chairman of New Jersey for New Jersey, or NJ4NJ. You can learn more about what's going on, learn more how to get help and help out other people at NJ4NJ.com. You can also find them on social media Once again, I thank Vinnie Brunetti for his time and his efforts in helping out all of you and small businesses and your family and friends. So, and remember, when the going gets tough, Jersey gets strong. So let's all work together here. Let's work together and let's help out one another here through New Jersey, for New Jersey, and on a daily basis here. So thanks again to Vinnie Brunetti. I am Vin Ebenau, and thank you for watching another episode of Eyes on the Jersey Shore.